Y'all remember this story, don't you? How y'all doing? So I'm here to make a brief video concerning me going to war. And went to war against some witches at a local restaurant. Let me start over. So I went to a Zaxby's and got something to drink. Then I left because I was waiting on some transportation to come. So transportation never showed up. And it's been a minute. So I was waiting. Finally, I went back in the restaurant, sat down, because it was kind of warm out there. Today is a very warm day today. I don't know where y'all at, but it's warm where we at. So I was sitting down and I was going to get a refill. I still had the same cup. And it wasn't too long ago before I had left the first time with, filling my cup up. Had my receipt, so I wasn't going to be no issue. Then all of a sudden I'm sitting there. A white guy comes in with two little boys he had with him, and they decided to order. And they sat down, and the employee comes and brings them a tray full of food. They never got up after they got their food. I'm sitting there, and then all of a sudden, while they sitting there eating, nobody else is in there eating but them, and me sitting there with my drink. My head started hurting. Now, we already know what I done said about certain people preying on you, and your head start hurting and all that kind of stuff. So witches and warlocks work at this Zaxby's. So while I'm sitting there, my head hurt, I said, Lord, who praying on me? Who is that? And the Holy Spirit pulled my head, like I could feel him leading me to look in the back where the counter was in the kitchen. And he showed me directly who it was. So I said, okay, Lord, what you want me to do? You want me to break it, or you want me to leave? I didn't feel led to leave. So I started praying. I started saying stuff like, let the fire of God burn and destroy. And I wasn't too loud either. I'm like right here, like say I was like this right here. Like I was talking, but I wasn't like loud. I was talking, but I was praying, like my inside conversation voice. So I'm praying and I'm breaking it, and it broke, and the pain went away. The pain went away, and I felt the shift. I felt it move. So then when it broke, all of a sudden, here come the manager wearing glasses, but she got a patch over her right eye. Another guy came, some stalky looking dude, and I guess his sister that worked there, because they all left yesterday when I was there. It was her, it was his sister, him, and this other employee. The manager ain't related to them, but they're all African American, I guess, or mixed with something. So the manager told me, sir, we're going to have to ask you to leave. I was like, for what? You're causing a disturbance to the customers. The customers are complaining. I said, ain't nobody but me and this dude over here, and he ain't move. He ain't say nothing. I said, who said something? She said, him. I said, he ain't move. He ain't said a word. I said, so why y'all telling that lie on me like that? So she was like, well, sir, you're causing a disturbance with the customers. I said, really ain't no customers in here. What is you saying? So she started going on with the lie. And then the guy, that employee, was like, oh, when you here yesterday? I said, yeah, briefly. He said, when you was harassing a woman. I said, I wasn't harassing no woman, because I was talking to her, making conversation. She got her food and left. She didn't complain to y'all. She didn't complain. She didn't say nothing to y'all about me. So what is she saying? She had to get her food and she left. Well, you was harassing her. According to you, why? Because I wasn't talking to you? You gay? I ain't say all that, but I'm, just making a synopsis. You know what I'm saying? So he going on. I said, why y'all lying on me like this? I said, I'm a customer here. I got a cup. I got a receipt. What is the issue? I said, I was waiting on the bus. He was like, wasn't you here yesterday? I said, yeah, I was here yesterday, but there wasn't no problems yesterday. I left on my own. Nobody was disturbed. Nobody was bothered. None of that, like today. I didn't start praying and doing what I was doing until they started working witchcraft on me. But when I broke it, they got mad and wanted to put me out. That was the reason why they told me to leave. So I'm getting ready to leave. I asked the white dude with his kids, I said, did you say anything to them? He goes, with a look on his face like he was mad. He was mad. because he know they lied on him trying to get me in trouble. This is what black folk do these days, though. You know what I'm saying? This is why I don't fool with black folk too much. Because black folk don't understand nothing about equality, unity, peace. They don't understand want to betray you, want to tell on you, want to get you in trouble, just sneaky device, just all kind of crazy stuff. All because you don't like the fact that I came against your witchcraft. So I said, okay. I got ready to leave. I said, God gonna get you. And the dude started laughing. He laughing at me. He said, yeah. He said, I'm sure he is. That was the devil. That was the devil. So I ended up leaving. I said, on God, you gonna get yours. I said, on gang, you gonna get yours. So I left, walked out, and I got on the phone, and the Lord told me to call corporate. So I called corporate, and I left a complaint, all that. They gonna deal with the situation. So here's an update. I ended up going to the Zaxby's that I got kicked out of that day. I went up there today, and I automatically began to speak to a manager, tell him the situation, and was letting him know I hadn't heard nothing because I spoke to corporate. So he goes and gets another female, and I think she was a supervisor or manager. I told her the situation, and she ran to go get the district manager's phone number and gave it to me. She came back and gave me the number and said, I just got off the phone with him and he been trying to get in contact with you. I said, oh, okay, so he knew about the situation. So I left and I got on the phone and I called him, and he told me that he knows about it and that's not how we operate, as far as what the manager that disrespected me did. He said that she's no longer a manager because of how she handled it. He went back and watched the video and saw that it wasn't what they made it out to be. And he's sorry that it happened to me like that, and he also said that Zaxby's is a faith-based organization, which I did not know. So it was working in my favor, So plus I had been meditating and, listening to Romans chapter 8. Where it talks about all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. So I just want to let that be. Don't mess with a true prophet of God. Don't mess with God's anointed, because you will be punished one way or the other.